This is McCook's Mr. Bill. It's an honor to have you here. How about a German Luger story? A German Luger, you bet. My father was 27 years old and he got drafted in World War II. One of the first drafted. The 5,000 men that went to basic training with him, they only got 2 weeks basic training, and they were shipped up to New York City, then out on a gray ghost ship, zigzagging every 7 minutes, hoping that a German torpedo didn't get them. They got over to Morocco, Africa, and he was involved in the first battle there at Nazarene Pass, which all of the Americans ran. If you didn't run, you got killed or captured. My dad ran, along with a bunch of others. With that in mind, they had some other battles, but they sent General Patton over there to straighten things out, and he was a hard-nosed general, without question. But during one of the battles, Dad picked up a German Luger. Off a dead German, he said, and I'd believe him. And he said that he started packing that thing around. He liked it and shot it. Liked it better than the 45 that he was carrying. He wasn't very accurate, he said, with that darn 45. So he turned it back in. If you didn't, you had to pay for it. So he turned it back in and he started carrying that. And the commander didn't give a darn what the truck drivers carried. And where he would drive up to the front lines to take either fuel or ammunition to the tanks. That was his main job during the war. With that in mind, though, he had a nice German Luger. He said that one of the things he did with it, though, he said, which was totally worthless and crazy, but he said when the German planes had come in and scrape the columns of trucks, he said he would hang out the window with his 45 and start shooting. That's right, shooting at the planes. He said, yeah, I was just throwing pebbles at them, basically. He said I could have thrown a handful of sand and done as much good, but he said they were shooting at me, they were trying to kill me, and he said I just wanted to let them know I wasn't happy with it. He got through Africa, lived through it, thank God, without a scratch, mind you, when he saw so many good men die. And he then got, and they landed in Sicily, and he was a truck driver there again, up to the front lines all the time, carrying and packing a German Luger again, still carrying it. And many of his comrades, other truck drivers, also carried a German Luger over the 45. They got then, they defeated Sicily, and they then headed up to Italy. He said once we got on the beach, he said the first thing you did was find a foxhole and dive in it and stay under cover for a while. And he said that first night, he said just off the beach, he said, but he said the Germans shot at him all night long with every kind of colored tracer you could imagine. He said we just had a couple of different colored in our tracers, but he said they had green, blues, reds, every color you could think of coming our direction. He said they sat in that foxhole, and he said a number of the guys would say, aren't they ever going to run out of ammunition? But he said for the entire night they just kept blazing away at them. You bet. And he said once in a while bullets would hit bullet. Ours had hit theirs, and he said, man, if you didn't think that sparks would fly and the bullets would zing every direction, or if a tracer would hit something and kiss off of it different direction, he said it was just incredible fireworks display if you weren't so darn afraid. He carried a German Luger all through the war then. He was pretty proud of it and going to bring it home, as many men had hoped to do as well. He said they put him out on the parade ground after the war, though, after the war. And he said, that's right, while they were out on the parade ground, somebody went through the duffel bags and took all of the war souvenirs, if you will, and he didn't get home with his German Luger. He always wanted one, but Mom said, we really don't need a German Luger. And so he was never allowed to have one or to purchase one. He just could have, I suppose, in his later years, but he didn't. But that is the gun that he carried during the war, a German Luger. So I would ask you this question: what gun would you carry if your life depended on it, day in and day out, in a combat zone? Thank you for your time.